Good evening, afternoon, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever time of day it is, we are back with another story time. And today, this story takes place, I was about 17 at the time. I was a junior in high school. And I was about 2 months into the school year, regular public school. I was one referral away from getting expelled from the premises, okay? And this title is a little bit clickbaity for this reason, because I technically did not get expelled, but, given the trajectory I was on, the duration of time I was present in this school year, it was safe to say, it was inevitable, okay? I would have been expelled had I not been sent away to this troubled teens boarding school. Now, this boarding school, I was living in Florida at the time. This boarding school was located in Missouri, the meth capital of the world. At one point, it was considered this area of Missouri. And, teens from all over the country would be sent here for all types of reasons, like fighting, drug use. Like, there were, emos, gothic type guys that tried to commit suicide. There were frat guys that were partying, just taking all types of drugs, snorting white powder. There were drug dealers, plugs, you name it. But I felt like the reason I was sent there was pretty tame. Actually, when I first arrived, everybody was let me give some context here. There was a guys' lodge and a girls' lodge in one big campus. And then on this campus, there was a basketball court, there was a cafeteria, a school, and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere in this foresty sort of area. And so anyways, and you could not leave the property. You couldn't leave the premises without staff supervision and without a group of people that were approved and had their privileges through good behavior and whatnot. And it was very rare. It'd probably be 2-3 times a week you could go off prop, we called it. And these staff members, we called them bigs, short for big brother, or if you were in the girls' lodge, big sister. And we were referred to as the littles. And so you needed a big with you at all times for off prop endeavors. And not to mention, what was I going to say? Oh, great. Well, this was going smoothly until I totally forgot. Okay, so anyways, I was in the guys' lodge, and all these people were just asking me, why am I here? What's my story? Whatever. Trying to get to know me. And everybody was here for such crazy reasons, so I figured, I'd just make up some reason as a joke. I told everybody I was there for excessive bath salt use. And people didn't know if I was serious or not. But I just ran with it, and I thought it was funny. And so, anyways, and the guys and girls, we were completely separate unless we were in class together, or we'd have these very rare co-ed field trips, I guess you could call it, to a museum or whatever. So. As I'm there, I quickly realized that this is not the boarding school I thought it was. There's no freedom. You can't talk on the phone. You can't play video games. You can't watch TV. You can't listen to music. You can only eat 3 times a day when it's scheduled. You can't have snacks unless you have privileges, or privs, as we'd call it. And it would basically be commissary that your guardian would send you. And even then, you couldn't have access to that whenever you wanted. So, if you know me in real life, I love to eat. So, it was torture, man. I like to eat at all times whenever I want. So, not to mention, I never had privs. I was always getting in trouble for little things. That was kind of my source of entertainment. I would just, mess around. So I was never able to even have access to my commissary. We had a special term for that as well. I forget what it's called, so we're just going to call it commissary. But, yeah, I remember, so you get only one phone call a week with your parents. That's the only person people you can call. It's supervised by your therapist. Everybody's assigned a therapist there. And so I remember I couldn't get my first phone call until a week of being there. And when I first got there too, like there was like this 13-year-old kid. He was there for like popping pills and just smoking big dope constantly. And I mean, 13 years old, but I didn't think it was such a big deal when I got there. You know, I was like, oh, how do you like it? You know, I was talking to him. He's like, welcome to hell. And I was like, what? Like, I was thinking like, what? This dude is such an exaggerator. But, you know, he wasn't too far off. It was not so fun being there. For the lack of freedom, I should say. But, you know, there were some good times. Either way, first phone call I got with my parents, I was like, man, like, this is not for me. This isn't working out. Hey, you know, just send me back to regular school. I'll try to not get expelled over there. Try to get my grades up over there. And they're like, nope, you gotta give it more time. And, yeah, you're not leaving. So, I was furious when I heard that. And, you know, I stormed out of there. I went back to my room for a while and just pondered over the reality that I was now in. And, I was like, okay, you know what? It's time to run away. That's what I got to do. So, you know, the staff members knew I was in my room sulking, furious. I walked out of there. They're monitoring me at this point. You can't even leave the guys' lodge, by the way, without supervision or permission. But I just started walking toward the door of the guys' lodge. It literally looks like a giant, like, log cabin almost, like a massive one. Even the staff member, the bigs, even they live in there. They're living on property. So there are a bunch of bigs around at all times. They can tackle you, restrain you, whatever they need to do if they have to. And they see me walking towards this door. And they're like, hey, you can't go any further than that. I just ignore them and just kept walking. And I just walk out these two front doors. Now they're following me. They're walking after me. And they tried to grab me. And I just like pushed them off me. I was furious at this time. And I was making a big scene. There were people outside like enjoying themselves that had privileges and behaved themselves. They were just watching me have this meltdown. And you know, the staff members they're continuing to follow me. I finally get to the entrance of this big campus, or the entrance/exit. Like, you know, we can't let you go any farther than this. There were like 3 staff members walking after me. And I just ignored it. I started sprinting at this point. So they're now following me. They're running after me. This place is like in the middle of nowhere, just like a foresty area. And, you know, meth capital of the world. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. Like, there are houses around, but, you know, I guess these are the houses that are responsible for all the meth production. So, sketchy area. In fact, someone tried to run away from this place before. I heard stories. And they were actually shot at. They tried to hide in, like, someone's property, and they were shot at. But, anyways, I was running. I was sprinting. My cardio, man, it needs a lot of work. I quickly ran out of breath, and it was pretty cold out, too. I was like, man, forget it. I'm done. And so I just decided to walk back. Staff members are escorting me back. You know, everybody's like watching me. It's like a big scene. And, but of course, you know, because I tried to run, I'm now a run risk. So I have no privileges. I can't go off property. Can't do anything. And, but, you know, I've befriended like some other people that like to, you know, mess around and kind of like cause mayhem for their source of entertainment as well. So we got along. We provided quite a bit of entertainment for each other with our antics. And so, you know, even though I was off prop banned, I was pretty much banned from everything else for quite some time. So I was constantly messing around, constantly getting in trouble. My friends as well. And when you do have privileges, though, you do get access to play video games like once or twice a week for like an hour, and you have to be monitored by staff members. And it's like in this downstairs little area with like a couch and a pool table, or ping pong table actually. And This is actually like, kind of like the little barracks next to the staff members kind of live down in these little barracks next to this little entertainment area. Then upstairs you have the main lobby with couches and this little balcony overlooking this forest. I mean, it's kind of a beautiful view actually. And then on the left side there's a hallway with rooms for like it has 2 bunk beds per room, 4 guys per room, probably like 4 rooms per hallway. And then on the right side there's an identical hallway like that, just to kind of give you the overview of what things look like. And then next to that is the girls' lodge. I forget if I mentioned that before, but same setup, and then girls' lodge. And anyways, I had this idea to go downstairs, to where people are playing video games, and to casually just turn off the console while they're midway through playing it. And I just thought it was hilarious at the time. I was in tears laughing. And my friends, they thought it was funny too. We all started doing it. And honestly, looking back now, it still sounds kind of funny to me, but I'd like to say I'm a more mature, respectful young man at this point in my life. But anyways, I have so many stories to tell from this place, just to kind of paint a picture for stories moving forward. I mean, I have a lot of stories to tell in general, but this place in particular, I could tell probably hundreds of stories from here. So stay tuned in the future. But I do want to remind you guys, man, just behave yourselves. Don't follow in my footsteps like that. Respect your authority figures, respect your parents. And, I will say, seek after Jesus, put him first in your life. Go after your goals, stay healthy, work out, take care of yourselves. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. And I will catch you in the next video.